The complaining nomad. Traveling can suck.
So today's guest, we have New Zealand's biggest Guinness drinker, Cherie.
As if. I drink one and I'm on the floor.
One on the floor.
Yeah.
You still like a good bit of Guinness.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to.
I mean, it goes hand in hand with being Irish, doesn't it?
It does. So where are you from?
So I'm from County Down, Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And how long have you been travelling for?
Over 3 years now. Yeah, I was meant to be home over a week ago, but decided not to get on the flight.
So that was your choice. It wasn't even COVID restrictions.
No.
So what made you want to stay?
Do you know when life is good and life is on a high? Don't ruin it. Just ride it out.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
And once you're back, you don't know if you're going to be able to get back as well. I guess that's a big factor as well.
Big factor, but also I know once I go home, I'm not going to come back.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while I can.
Exactly.
You know.
So what stories have you got for us? Sounds like you've got a couple.
So I do love a good chit chat. Not gonna lie.
That's what we like. That's what we're here for.
Oh Christ. Okay, right. So I've got a few of them in the bag. Not gonna lie. But I think like a lot of us, my biggest one is probably from Southeast Asia when we were going through the Philippines. So this was almost 3 months into our travel, and you know, by this point, it wasn't like getting up at 6 a.m. for a hike or, you know, namaste, no drinking for a month. God, no. Bloody hell. The bikini I bought at the start was not fitting by this point. I was like, oh, well, I can sack one. Yeah, so we have this, like, really mad, interesting night in El Nido, if anyone knows it. I think it's very touristy. It's where all of us Westerners go, you know, because it's a go-to place. Anyway. So we rock up. It's myself and my 3 other girlfriends. So myself, Louise, we have Beth, and then we have Lauren.
Shout out to those girls.
Shout out to those girls. By the way, all amazing girls, and this story will forever go down in one of our funniest nights out in our whole entire lives, probably. Well, funny, but also chaotic, but we'll get to that part. Okay, right. So this was like our second night out. Yeah, all having a good time. And you know, I'm not promoting, you know, drink loads of booze. Not good for you. Not good for the liver. But by this point, I didn't know the difference between Samson and water. So I was drinking it very quickly. And by this point, so I got sent home. And I got sent home early into the night. You know, thank you, my friends. They were looking out for my safety. But unfortunately, by the way, I was still in a hostel at this point, and in the hostel it was a 6-bed dorm, and us 4 girls took over 4 of the beds. I got sent into the hostel, fell asleep, and I wet myself. I wet myself, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not the first time in Southeast Asia, and that's grand. That happens. We're all human. That happens. So that's okay. So that happens. I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't find my backpack because it's pitch black. So I rummaged through my friend's backpack and I found a swimsuit. And the swimsuit is red and it says Bear Watch across the chest of it, okay?
I know exactly what that
so
swimsuit
that's fine.
is.
Yep. Yeah, it was a joke at the time, turned into my outfit for the night. That's okay. So I go back to bed, I fall asleep, and in the middle of the night we had 2 older gentlemen check into the room. Now, I'm passed out by this point, you know, sleeping very quietly, no snoring, and very ladylike in my Baywatch wetsuit. So that's fine. But then it's about 3 a.m. in the morning, and the girls come in, and they've clearly had a very fun night, you know. We're all out there to have fun, nothing more, nothing less. But the 2 fellas did get in a little bit late, and they were a little bit on the grumpy side. And when I say grumpy, I mean one of the girls was eating a packet of crisps. Now this is where all of this stems from, eating a packet of crisps. And so I'll not name who was eating the crisps, right? Because we're not going to blame any fingers.
Beth.
No, why did you think Beth?
Just the first, only name I could remember.
Oh my god, she'd love that you said that. So anyway, Zed girl was eating the crisps and one of the boys woke up and was furious about this. And when I say furious, I mean jumped up onto the girl's bed and started throwing punches. Oh yeah, this takes, by the way, it's dramatic, it's wild. This is the dark part, but trust me, it gets funnier, right? So punches start to be thrown and I wake up to boy versus girl and I mean an actual like Fight Club brawl
Over a packet of crisps.
over the noise of a packet of crisps in a room. I swear down. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I jump out of bed. I'm in this Baywatch swimsuit. And I'm like, what is going on? And then next minute, another fella comes out of nowhere, which was his mate. And I was just like clueless. But obviously waking up. I hadn't even done my facial routine. Do you know what I mean? I was like, whoa, give us a minute. Anyway, so punches are starting being thrown. I was like, this cannot be happening. I was like, am I dreaming? What's going on? No, very real. So the next minute, the punches go from the middle of the room to out in the hallway, from the hallway into the street. And it is 2 men versus 4 girls, right? 4 women. 2 men, 4 women, sorry. And it turns into an actual street brawl. Like the kind of thing you see in movies. And I was like, surely I am not in the middle of this. I absolutely am. I don't know why for the dear life of me, because I am so much of a lover, not a fighter. And because he grabbed Louise and threw her, I was like, don't touch my friend. So I go running up and like, I'm soft, do you know what I mean? So he just grabbed me by the face and threw me to the side of the street. Again, still in a red Baywatch swimsuit. And I go flying to the curb and gash my shin, right? But at the time, obviously, you can't feel it, which is fine. But then this brawl goes on for like another minute or 2. And then everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then the police just show up out of nowhere. Now, I don't know where the viewers are around the world, but if you think police, I am not talking like police car, 6 men, riot uniform. I mean, 2 men walked up to the scene, chilled out, was like, well, what have we got going on here? And by this point, the 2 gentlemen had ran away. So they had ran away. The hostel owner, who spoke the native language in the Philippines, I'm not 100% sure what it was in El Nido, but she was explaining the whole situation to him, whilst my friend Louise was also trying to explain the situation to him. It all got a bit chaotic, so he was like, right, you need to come down to the station. And I don't know why I got chose to come down to the station, because I was in no fit state to go down to the station. Again, still in the Baywatch swimsuit. Got took to the police station in this bloody outfit. So anyway, we get to the police station, and 1 minute I'm sat there, and Louise is painting the picture. She's all arm movements and being like this and that, and he. And I was sitting there like, yeah, right? And then I got over it very quickly. So I fell asleep on the chair, curled up into a ball. And then I wake up, must have been about 50 minutes later, and my friend Louise is playing with the police officer's gun, being like, you get them, man, you get them, you use this. Having a joke with him, but obviously the policemen were having an absolute joke about it as well. So there was just a whole crowd of policemen watching this woman play with, by the way, it wasn't a loaded gun, do you know what I mean? It was nothing serious like that, but it gets funnier, right? So that's fine. And then, by the way, are you allowed to curse?
Huh?
Are you allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I've been holding that back.
No, you can.
That's why I started sweating.
No, it's good.
Right, so I wake up to Louise playing with this gun with loads of policemen. I'm like, how the hell did we get here? I was like, I swear we started the night out with dinner and cocktails. I don't know why I'm late in a police station. Again, Baywatch swimsuit, friend holding a gun, policemen everywhere. And I'm like, I want to go home. I just want to go home. And it's like 5 a.m. and the hostel owner comes to pick us up pretty much. She's like, girls, come on. And it's literally like being picked up by your mother. Do you know when you've done something so wrong and you walk out through the doors with your tail in between your legs, your shoulders slumped, you're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then we found out the next morning that something was actually done, that the 2 fellas were caught at the port trying to run away. So they ran into the hostel in the middle of the night, grabbed their bags and ran away. Yeah, and then they found them, and I was like, what? I was like, I didn't even think there was going to be an outcome to it. Apparently there was, and then this, that, and the other, they got spoken to, and then they got released. We didn't want anything to do with it, they didn't want anything to do with it, but we got chucked out of our hostel, right? And when I say chucked out, I mean she was happy to get rid of us.
I'm sure.
Yeah, well.
Can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
A big brawl in the middle of the night over a packet of crisps.
I know, but to be honest, it wasn't my finest moment.
What crisp was it?
Probably Lay's.
Oh yeah.
Wait, did they even have those in the
I hope
Philippines?
they weren't ready salted.
Oh,
That
see,
was
that's
just
debatable.
Not worth it.
No, it has to be salt and vinegar or above. Cheese and onion?
Maybe.
Oh, depends on the flavour.
Yeah.
No, sorry, depends on the brand.
Ready salted's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, but what if it were hula hoops?
Again, agreed.
Yeah. See, that it's all debatable.
It's all about the crisps.
It
It's
is all about the crisps.
But what happened after that?
And then after that, El Nido was just a strange little time in our travel journey because that day we had to move from our hostel into a homestay that the policemen helped us find, to then that night to the policemen that weren't wearing the uniform rocked up to the front door to take the girls out on a date.
Oh my.
So Louise,
Oh god.
swear down, I've got the photo of it and it is the funniest thing ever. So Louise that morning was playing with his gun. And then that night, he was taking her out on a date. And I was like, how did we get here? How did we get here? Yeah.
Okay, so that photo, you have to send it us. We'll post it.
Okay.
Just so we can get some
Oh,
context.
she'll love it.
So we've had two policemen who, knights in shining armour, come and save this big brawl over a packet of crisps, give their gun to
Louise to play with. Yep.
And then the next day, come and take them out for a date.
Mm-hmm.
Did they go on the date with them?
We all went.
Oh, you all went. So they were saving 2 and they got what, 4?
Yep.
Wow.
We were like, you're not gonna out for a date with these men without us there. We're like, that's just okay. They were policemen, but like, still, would you ever send a good pal of yours out with someone that you didn't know, especially in a different country? You know, safety first. So we all went out, and then
So I think we're all wondering how the date went.
Not very well.
No.
We
Got
all,
a few drinks out of them and left.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because also karaoke happened, and then there was dancing on the stage, and then let's just say, again, I advise safe drinking always. Never get yourself into a very bad state. But then we took the night over, and then we ran away. And then they rocked up to the fucking room the next day, and then I was like,
oh no.
Yeah, they rocked up the next day, but then Louise, who's a very stern, beautiful woman, when she makes a point in the best way. And then the rest is history. Funny
Did it
time.
get pretty scary after that though? Were you worried that they might have been following you?
Well, we left shortly after that. It was more a case of El Nido's a very small place. So if we were going to run into them or not, yeah, a little bit. But let's just say, in the group of 4 of us, 4 very big personalities, so whatever was going to happen, it was going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
In a very kind, womanly manner way.
4 Irish girls. You're not going to mess with that.
Oh no, 1 Irish, 3 English.
Oh, okay. Even worse.
You said it!
The complaining nomad. Traveling can suck.
What's your second story?
Ooh, second story. So when you brought it up to me the other night, and you're like, pretty much not every day is a good day in traveling, and there's always a story to be told. And sometimes the expectations are bigger than what we think. I think what I brought it back to was being homesick. So even when you're away from family for a really long period of time, they come in waves, but you don't know when the waves are going to come. And it can be a really strange day, and the high can be such a high, or the low can be such a low. And I remember this one particular day, I was living in Wellington, going on a 1.5 years, maybe? Yeah, around that time. Now, I'm not saying that I never get homesick. I'm just saying I've always been pretty good at controlling how I feel about family and being like, yep, that's grand, miss you, still going to get on with it. But what happened was I woke up one morning in a really strange mood. I was stood behind the coffee machine in the restaurant that I was working in. And by the way, I never cry. I want to say, I'm definitely dramatic, but in a funny way, do you know what I mean? I'm all
You
about...
don't seem like a crier.
No, absolutely. Not in a million years. But someone turned around to me and goes, do you miss your family? And I was holding on to the coffee heads on the coffee machine, and I started crying so hard. Uncontrollable tears, literally shaking, like actual Kim K tears. And you know what I mean? She's a good looking girl, but when she cries, she is ugly. You know what I mean? Like face crunched up, everything was everywhere. Oh my god, looked like I'd been spat out. You know what I mean? So I had to run outside and be like, I just want to talk to my mom. Anyway, Well, time difference, isn't it? And then, so I was like, I got let out of work early. That was grand. Very weird day. Someone was like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to book my flight home. Anyway, on the way to walking to the waterfront, I was like, I need to clear my brain. You know, I need Mother Nature. Try to ring my mom. Doesn't answer. I was like, I think it's fate. I'm not going home.
So a few hours later, after a few drinks, you felt a lot better and you forgot about it.
No alcohol involved in this one, actually.
okay.
None. No alcohol at all. So what I done is, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has been traveling, and they probably know this already, but if you ever have any thoughts or feelings or emotions and you don't know what to do with them, or if you don't have the right person at the time to speak to them about, write it all down. Write it down, because believe you me, someday you're going to read it again and it is going to be so special, but so emotional in the same way. It's like, do you know when you read a book that you really, really love and like it literally makes you laugh out loud or it makes you cry because you think you know that person, but to read something, to actually know who that person is, how they felt at the time, and even just to have a face to the name, but an actual face to the name is something completely different. Like, I know everyone keeps journals, like you're keeping a podcast at the moment, which I think is absolutely amazing. You know, people do YouTube videos or, you know, like their traveler blogs, whatever it is, write it down, because I end up going down to the waterfront and it just so happens, so I started a new job. It's like starting the first day at school. I had my pencil case. I was so happy. Do you know what I mean? Zipped it open, brand new notepad. I know that's so like primary school of me, but you know, we will never grow out of it, I'm telling you. Brand new Sharpies, can't go wrong. And and yeah, so I labelled it Lost and I wrote it all down. Now, I don't know if you can tell already, I love a good chit chat. A couple of words do fall out of my mouth. And by the time that I was finished with this Lost page, I had 6 pages later and I was like, whoa! So that was like free therapy, unreal.
You still have those now?
I do have them now.
You read them over?
I actually come across them, it was a year and a half or just over a year later. Yeah, I think it was just over a year later. It wasn't that long at all. But so we were moving out of, so I ended up staying in Wellington for that time and met some of the most amazing people. So I'm so happy that I didn't leave at the time, because I wouldn't have been in this beautiful situation that we are in now, in this beautiful place with all these amazing people. But yeah, so we were moving, and you know what it's like when you're moving. You pull all your crap into the middle of the room, and you know. And so I come across these papers, and I was like, oh wow, you know. And I went from being on such a high to reading it, cried my eyes out. I was like, whoa. And it's amazing, isn't it? Like, do you know when you look back on something, it's like, Jesus, I was in that place and I was doing that thing, or oh, I've done that, you know.
But now you feel better.
Oh, amazing.
Especially when you look back after all those dark thoughts and
yeah,
thinking that it was just a stage. It shows that you do get over it, especially when you're traveling. We all have those thoughts and we all go through those moments, but it does get better.
It does.
And the worst thing you can do is book that flight.
Absolutely.
Worst thing you can do.
Absolutely. Especially because you never want that fear of being, and I'm not saying this happens to everyone, but when you get home and you're sat in your childhood room and it could be 6 months to bloody hell 6 years later, and you feel like you've just stepped 100 steps, but you've just done 1,000 backwards.
Yeah.
You're like, how did I end up back here? You know, what do I have to show for my time other than memories, which, by the way, I know last a lifetime. But when you go home and in your place where it's like, where's your house? You know, where's your dog? Where's your family? Where's your marriage? And you're like, I don't want any of that. I just have some 6 stamps in my passport and I'm going to go with it, you know?
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
no, not at all.
It's definitely a great bit of advice. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep pushing through and don't give up.
But also when you're ready for all that, you know, absolutely do it. Go for it. But you will be ready then.
Just not right now.
Just not right now.
Thank you for coming on. It's been awesome.
No,
been
thank
breath
you.
of fresh air.
Oh,
Lots
God.
of energy. It's been great.
No, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Cherie.
You're going to smash this.
Thanks.
The Complaining Nomad. Traveling can suck.